Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Okay, today we have YY here. Okay, hello, YY.
Yeah,
Good
hi
evening.
everyone. Hi.
Hello. Okay, it's so privileged to have YY here. He's a multilingual educator. Okay,
Yep, that's right.
so very interesting. So I can do a very simple introduction of you. Okay, let me see. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so why I say we are so privileged, because to me, right, learning language is not so easy for me. Okay, English to me, I try my best. Okay, but I think it's difficult. Okay, so I think for you, he has been an educator in language for the past 5 years already. So he has a certificate in English language teaching to adults. Okay, not only to children, to adults. And you have a diploma in Chinese. Oh my, you are like a bilingual. And not only that, he has a thought-working professional. So for mummies and daddies here, he has helping the professionals to speak better and write better in English. And children from age 5 to 14 in public schools and international schools. And he also has a major as a linguistic major in university and learn French and German as a foreign language. And next, you want to learn Japanese, right?
Yeah, that's right. Correct.
Okay. So thank you, YY, for I was so that day we had a chat and we thought about we need to educate our parents and children, in Singapore that actually learning third language is not a bad thing after all.
Yeah, it's important. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we said we should actually I will just show you my slides, what we have tonight. So for those who are joining us already, you can share with your friends, that you have friends who are having a children that could be wanting to learn a third language, or you yourself, for YY, he has a page which is from the screen here is facebook.com/2YUANLEE. So he'll be giving content about third language, other languages, that you can that you can actually learn. Yeah.
That's right.
So for me is I hope y'all can follow me on my Facebook and also on my YouTube. Okay. So and then I'm a parenting strategy study coach and also an internet speaker and also online course creator. And okay, let's all must stay tuned to our end of the webinar. Okay, me and YY1. Okay, because we have very interesting things to give away free. Okay, so I have this special tickets to my webinar. This is coming this Sunday, as well as free ebook. And if you come to our webinar, there will be a lot of bonuses. Okay, and for YY, he has been graciously giving us a link later to learn some lessons of German for free. Isn't he wonderful? Okay, thank you, YY. Okay,
you're welcome. Right. Yeah,
thank you. Okay, so I think what I put at this is my field. Okay, because I have two children that really was given the privilege, of learning a third language. Okay, so to me, when maybe like I think just now we talked about sharing about what is MOE, right?
Yeah.
What does MOE actually say? I mean, it's good we all learn. Okay. There are actually courses offered at our Ministry of Education Language Center.
Yeah.
So what are the 8 languages? Like where you can tell us there.
Here, as you can see on the website, right? So there's actually it started with French and Japanese. Okay, they started to offer French and Japanese first, and then later German, and then later on throughout the years they also added Malay, Arabic, Bahasa Indonesia, but that's also like Malay lah. That's like Bahasa Melayu. It's like the difference between American English and British English. So it's actually basically the same language, right? Bahasa Indonesia and Malay, and then there's also Chinese, right? So all together, that's like 8 languages they offer. I mean that you can choose from, right? From the MOELC course offering, right? But of course, I think all of you know, especially for parents who have kids going through PSLE and then wanting to go to secondary schools, right? Yes. They do have a very stringent admission criteria, right? In order to offer a third language as a secondary school subject, right? You actually need to do quite well in your PSLE in order to qualify for this program, so to speak, right? So and here you can see the criteria are mentioned here, okay, on the official website of this MOELC, right? So for foreign languages such as French, German, Japanese, and Spanish, right, you need to obtain a PSLE score of 8 or better, right? So of course, I mean, who here agree that 8 is actually a pretty high standard to reach, right? And then that's and not just PSLE score of 8 or better. And then like for Japanese, for those who want to do Japanese as a third language, you need to have some knowledge of Chinese or like even higher Chinese at PSLE, which is okay. But I mean, I suppose it's understandable also because Japanese, they also use Chinese characters, right? So if you find it difficult to write Chinese characters, then you may have some difficulty learning Japanese also. So that's understandable. And then the student must be a Singapore citizen or a Singapore permanent resident. Right, so that means, right, for students like international students like coming from other countries who are enrolled in our local public schools, right, they don't have the opportunity to learn also, right, even if they want to. So yes, so these are the conditions. And then for Asian languages, like your PSLE score must be even better, like 24, from 8 to 24. So that's even higher.
8 is better one. Okay, now it's smaller the better.
Oh, now it's smaller the better, is it? Oh, sorry.
It's okay, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the important part of it is that what we are trying to say is that actually we in Singapore, if your children want to learn third language, is not easy. You have to have certain criteria to go into it, okay? So
yep, agree.
That's right. So I mean, that's why we have YY to actually and a lot of that what are the important things we need, why do we need to learn the third language, or what is the benefit, because to me okay, this is wait, I'm going to share this picture because it's very interesting, okay? Because to me as a parent, right, like I told you, I find that 2 languages is already a headache already, okay? I'm so sorry. Yeah. I know why.
Understand.
It's a linguist. He can do Chinese and English very well. Okay, but in Singapore, I think to me, I have a lot of students which I've mentored, right? Actually, the main problem is maths and Chinese. Usually, maths and Chinese. Okay.
Maths and Chinese.
Yeah.
But actually, among the students I've taught, right, a lot of them dislike Chinese for some reason.
Correct.
The subject that they like least is actually Chinese.
Correct, because they doesn't use it, and then every single word is different. It's not like English,
Yeah,
at least you recognize the letter, you still can make it into a
it's like because you got the alphabet, and then you sort of can relate the alphabet to the sound, right? It's like
correct.
Like A is pronounced as R, or like apple.
Chinese,
it starts with A, but then Chinese is no. You just look at the character. You need to learn the pinyin. You need to learn how to write. So it's like a lot more information that you have to absorb in order to master the characters.
Correct. Okay, maybe later on, we have more live with YY to help us on this Chinese part. Okay, since everybody has problems. Okay. So I think that's why when I was a parent and when my children was actually offered, because I have a daughter. My daughter says, okay, I'm going up for a challenge. My daughter took up French. Okay, but my son I didn't, because I think he cannot cope. So I straight away cancel. I'm not going to consent. Although they have reached the grades, I mean, in Singapore, it's really, like to say, okay, Singapore, 4 is the best mark for Singapore PSLE 4. So just now you say 8, right? That means maybe last time it could be about 250, the score for PSLE, because only last year PSLE score is like achievement level, right? So it has, but I still gave up giving him a chance. Okay, so that's why I feel it's a waste of time. Okay, maybe YY you could also tell me, can correct me. Okay, but I think we have gone through what is the qualification for third language in Singapore, and then we are going to learn why third language is good for the young. Okay, because we are here, because most of us are parents, or ourselves, we want to learn a third language also. I mean, all this life is very important. So if you are on this live and you think that somebody else like to learn a third language, can you please send to the person? Yeah, give me all the likes and all the hearts. Okay, and I also give tips to learn language faster, easier, because I'm a study coach. So I also can give some tips during this webinar. Okay, so stay tuned to the end of our live. Okay, to me, for me, I actually teach my 3M system, which is a motivation, mindset, and methods. Okay, so success is about mindset. Okay, to me, it's important. Okay, so let's stop share for a while. Okay, maybe we just have a conversation with YY. Okay, maybe YY, can you share with us what are the benefits that I don't see as a parent? Which I say is a waste of time. 2 languages already headache. Why we need to learn a third language? Maybe you give another perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, so like for me, right, like learning a third language, right, it's actually like it's sort of like it actually helps you in your because it trains your memory to like absorb more vocabulary, and then like try to remember new words, and then like new grammar structure. It's like, so like whenever you learn like a new language, right, it's sort of like it makes your brain muscle like stronger. It's like going to the gym, like 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 for your brain, so to speak. So like, because when you actually
learn another language, like you will tend to learn things like maths better, science better, or is it another language better?
So I think there is research that shows that when you learn like languages, like when you are like multilingual, it actually helps you to learn things faster, and because it helps you to see things in a different way. So like why people find like it's difficult to, for example, why people find it difficult to learn like English and Chinese together at the same time, right? Is because English and Chinese, they are such different languages, you see. Right? I mean, if you compare English and Chinese, like the difference is very obvious. It's like they are very different, right? It's like one is is alphabet, and then you can pronounce. I mean, you can sort of make out the sound from the alphabet. Whereas Chinese is not like that. It's like, oh, so many strokes. You have to remember how to write the strokes, and then and then the grammar is also a bit different. Like it's not like English, right? But English is like I mean, okay, I'm going to get a bit technical here. It's like, it's like in a sentence you have like like today, the weather today is very good. Like in Chinese, how is it like? 今天天气很好, right? 天气很好. Then it's like today the weather is very good. So what's the verb there is, right? But if you look at Chinese, is there a verb in Chinese for the same sentence with the same meaning? No, right? Yeah, so it's like, it's like you're getting used to, because it's two very different structures. Like because when you learn another language, it's sort of like you add another, how do I say, it adds another like structure to your brain. It's like it makes your brain like stronger in that sense. Like you have a different way of expressing yourself. Like it improves your creativity. Right, improves your creativity and also your memory, because you have to remember stuff. You are training yourself. You memorize stuff.
Like the muscles.
You remember, it makes your mind like a bit bigger, like your memory, your capacity bigger.
Yeah, especially our young people now are using so much handphones and games.
Yes,
right?
correct.
So learning a language actually can help to stimulate them, their brains, make them smarter.
In a much more like productive way than playing on the handphone. Yeah.
Correct. Like it's the same like when we want to be fitter, we go exercise, right? So when we want to be smarter, we also need to exercise our brains a little. So okay, maybe I share with you an experience of my student who actually learned French, because she's not she doesn't take Chinese as a second language, so she takes French. Yeah. So
so she opted out of Chinese lah, but as in ethnically she's Chinese, right?
Yes,
ethnically
she's a mix. She's a mix from Turkish mom and Chinese father.
But she's Singaporean.
Yeah, Singaporean. So she don't take a second language. She actually take French. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. About some study methods, to learn better. Okay. So one of them is actually using flashcards. Okay. So maybe it's also for we all can learn together. So for example, flashcard, usually we have two sides, right? Usually. So for French, I think the easiest that I learned from her was chair Z, right? Correct or not? Chair Z.
La chaise.
La chaise.
Chaise.
So I will actually draw a picture of how must pronounce, right? French is difficult because pronounce is different, right? From normal.
The pronunciation. Yes, correct. Yeah. So correct, right? So like each language, the pronunciation, even though like French is also alphabet based, but then the way you pronounce the alphabet is also different, correct? It's not like English.
Everyone is different. So she told me all the difficulty. So I say, okay, then because the study coach, I'm supposed to teach her what I can, right? So I taught her to use flashcard, and she was very smart. She actually drew. I teach her like share Z, right? So I draw like pictures of shares, like 股票, shares and stocks.
Okay.
All right. So and then the other side of it, then she really put the French spelling. So she needs to learn both. She needs to how to pronounce. She needs to learn how to spell also.
Yes,
and
correct.
This is the basic. I mean, of course, there's strengthen structure, all this. So this is a very simple method.
Another level, another higher.
This is simplest, but I know, of course, it's also not easy, because I know she's. Yeah, like I told you, like we say, it's different, same letter, also different pronunciation. So
correct. Use the same alphabet, also different pronunciation.
So I hope this small little tip you can teach you to also learn Chinese learn vocabulary, because by writing you also tend to also have memory.
Memory better, yes.
Yes, and also the picture will help you to remember the word and association with it. Okay, of course, for adults, I'm not sure, but for kids, I feel that it's very,
for kids, maybe because of the visual, but maybe adults may find it, maybe they're not so comfortable with using flashcards. I mean, because they want to.
But they also got electronic apps also.
Yes, correct. They use apps. Yeah, actually, there are a lot of free apps like to learn languages like nowadays.
Correct.
Like one of them is like called Duolingo. I think Duolingo. I don't know if you have heard of Duolingo.
Okay, when we talk about language, you always go to Google Translate. We never think
about it. Well, Google Translate is a translator. It helps you translate, but not really to learn. Like if you want to learn, it's like this is a language learning app.
But is it free?
It's free.
Duolingo.
Yeah, I think there are more than 20 over languages like they offer. Correct.
So I think there's another benefit, right? Other than creativity, memory, right? Grammar structure, trains the brain, right? Yeah. What other benefits? One is the very practical benefit, which I think you told me before. It's about employment opportunities, right?
Yes,
correct. You can tell me about it.
Stories. Correct. So I think maybe we can go back to the the MOE website, right? So that's actually there is a benefit that's stated there, and that's also why like MOE wanted to offer this third language like program to our selected students. Right, so it's actually on the website. But it's okay. I can also if you can, maybe I can. Jess, do you want to share the screen, or I share my screen?
You can. You're able to share, right? You can share.
Okay. Wait. I need to. Okay, I can share. Also.
I think you can.
Okay, wait. Wait a moment. All right.
I think I can tell you a story that I actually have because I was actually in a French company. I mean it's a European company. Okay, but their main the headquarters is in France. So actually they really want all of us to learn French. So they even hire French tutors, to teach because we are doing accounting for this country. So we actually being asked to actually learn, because it's not easy doing accounting for French, so we have to learn. So that's why I say, actually correct. Actually, if you want to go to France or you go to any country, you need to use their language, right? So it's very useful.
I mean, it would be easier for you to integrate, to work together with the native speakers there,
So are you able to find the page?
Actually, wait a moment. I'm trying to.
I can find it.
Okay.
I found it.
Okay.
So wait, okay, I will go to share screen here. Okay. So I think here they say benefits of learning a third language. Is this the one?
Yeah. Yes, this one, right? So benefits of learning a third language, right? So it's that's one, and also there is I think there was one part that So if you look at the second part here, they open doors to tertiary education and scholarships in France, Germany, Japan, and Spain. So one interesting thing about France and Germany, right, is that if you do actually speak their language at a almost native level, very high level, right, you can actually qualify for free university education there.
Even though I'm a foreigner?
Even though you're a foreigner, that's right. Even as an international student. Even as an international student, you can get free tertiary education. I mean, how many of you would like free university education, right? I mean, if you compare, even as a Singapore citizen, you study in Singapore, you have to pay a few $1,000s per semester, right? So I mean, the whole university education, even with government subsidy, there will probably be tens of thousands of dollars already. But this one, right, is the tuition is free in the sense that you don't have to pay any tuition fees. So the tuition fee is zero, is literally zero. But as an international student, you have to pay some admin fee, right? But admin fee is very nominal. So it's maybe per semester is about 200 to 300 euros per semester. So if it's a 4-year course, that's only about 2,000 plus euros, for the whole 4-year course.
Yeah.
Which is very value for money, right? If you think about it.
Actually, only recently my daughter told me her friend actually took all the way her French language all the way to A levels. So she's actually choosing what a university to go to.
To France, right? To
correct.
study.
So I think I really miss that part. So I think I really find that we should all share information. If your children are really can handle more than two language, right?
Yeah,
it's really beneficial. But of course,
it's really beneficial. And of course, it depends on your interest also, lah. Like but some people, they are deeply passionate about learning a new language, and then you go all the way. But I think even if they are not so passionate, it's also good to expose. Don't have to learn to a very advanced level, but at least some exposure. So it will help you in your workplace as well. Especially in this society is like such a globalized society, right? You have a lot of MNCs, and then they come from Europe or Japan. So and then to improve your employment opportunities, right? But you should also try to learn a new language. Correct. Sort of because it's like an added advantage, because you see everybody. I mean, when they apply for jobs, they're going to have their education.
You are different, right? If you know that language.
Yeah. So it's going to be, if it's more competitive, then you need more advantages to make you stand out from the crowd. And so learning a new language is one way of helping you stand out from the crowd by investing in a language education.
So why do you teach children in groups, or is that one-to-one?
Usually I teach one-to-one, because the place I work at, they are more solely catered to one-to-one lessons. So but the school I teach, they are really quite expensive, to be honest. They are quite expensive. So I wouldn't really recommend people to go there, even though I work there, right? Okay. Yeah.
And then university in Singapore also have a chance to learn languages, right?
They do. At university level, they do offer some modules. But that's maybe more a beginners, until beginner level. Yeah, beginner course. Not say very high, but then you can't expect much because it's already included in your tuition fees. So it's not you pay extra to learn.
Yeah, but only for adults, or for young people or young children, they just want to if you say want to learn another language, so that you get rather than putting your time into handphone and games, it's also an extra thing you can really maybe who knows that your child will grow up to like that language and then have more passion. And when they are about to go to PSLE, they get the results and they can go to the third language.
Yeah, correct. Actually, what you said, it just reminded me. Actually, I taught one girl last year. She just finished her PSLE also. Then her mother wanted her to learn German, and then she wanted her to learn German, so she actually enrolled her with the school I was working at, right? And then she took private lessons, to help her, to give her a head start, so to speak. Yeah. Okay. So they're actually which is quite interesting. I don't know whether it was after PSLE, the long break, the holiday, the year end.
Because they are so free after.
Yes, correct.
PSLE end in first week of October.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Then they have almost 2 months, right? 2 months of holiday, right?
Correct. That's why they will think of all this. Okay, but
correct.
But you have courses for us, later on, so we can start by enrolling in the free courses, and
yes, correct.
We got another course that you can go through to learn
if you are interested in learning more about the language that I have to offer.
So is it true that the younger that you started with a language is easier for them to actually master?
It's actually easier because in terms of speaking, there's an advantage in terms of speaking, right? Because children, especially when they are when they're at least 3 to 5 years old, that's supposed to be the prime age, the best.
The brain will grow
the brain is very flexible. They can absorb the sound very quickly and very accurately. Because one of the difficulties adults face when they learn a new language, right, is they can hear the sound, but then they cannot produce. It's internally they cannot catch it very well. So that's one of the difficulties.
Too much data they have already.
Too much data. Too much data, and also because because they already speak maybe English or Chinese too well. So they start to so their sound structure, the way they speak, right, is very influenced by their first or second language.
It's Chinese, right? Some people will use some of the grammar structures of English. And
Yes, yeah. Then they
wrong.
get Singlish. Then they become
It's all
Singlish.
wrong, right?
Yeah, correct.
And
Yeah,
remember all the teacher was circle. What kind of Chinese are you talking about?
Yeah, correct. They will sort of like, they will sort of apply the grammar of English to Chinese, or then apply the grammar of Chinese to English. They will
correct.
mix
So
them together, and then like
you know, when they learn the third language, like they also adults would seem to do that, but for children it's like a blank piece of paper.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So like also yes, because like but one thing is also when you have like another language is like you have like another, how do I say, like another habit or another pattern, and then to master all these habits like very well all at one time, right? It's not easy. It can lead to confusion.
Okay.
So, which is why, right, in order
one first. Then.
Yes. Then one, and for you and to be like like multilingual, you need to sort of be very familiar with each one, like in a very orderly way.
Okay,
so and when you learn like when you learn younger, right, you have more time and more space
to adjust
to adjust. Correct.
So I understand why Singapore children really cannot cope with two languages. It's like a bit confusing. I mean, when you tell me this, then I still have to think maybe it's because they are so different, right? And then maybe they find it difficult to why cannot use this? Why cannot apply this English structure to the Chinese? And why English so easy? What Chinese I have to recognize every word, you know? And actually, when we were studying in Chinese, I don't know whether you remember when we started. Okay, for me I'm 40s. So when I started learning Chinese, 先写字, remember? I don't know, that was how I started. But after that, MOE changed to 先认字. Recognize the word. That is the change.
Oh, for me, actually my one was also 先写字 because a lot of 听写. I remember a lot of 听写 and a lot of 默写. I mean, as a student, as a student like primary school, right, a lot of 听写 and a lot of 默写.
I know, yes, but that's how we train ourselves, you know. But because of, I think there were complaints about it, and then the children are not like getting the exposure or doing it because I think it's also stressful to them. I mean, to some of the children. So more say things lesser, okay?
Yeah.
But then of course when you don't practice, it becomes harder. So to me, my tips for Chinese is, I mean, as a you are a linguist, a language educator, right? So we know that must be three things, right? We must read, right? We must write, and we must speak the language. It's the same, right? It's the same, right? So my tips, like not only using flashcards, but we need to use it every day, right? Must talk to your. Let's say I always tell my children, simplest way is when you go home, speak to your parents or grandparents in Chinese. Because in school you already speak so much English, and then you don't get to speak Chinese.
Yeah, correct. Not enough exposure. Yeah, correct.
So go back to me, it's very simple tip. Or another thing is watching dramas, Chinese dramas, because it's entertaining and you learn the vocabulary. That's my tip.
But the thing is, one thing is that you watching Chinese drama is good, but one thing is don't watch it with the subtitles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no subtitles. Yeah, because when it's watched with the subtitles, they will just concentrate on the subtitles. They won't pay attention to the. Yes, correct.
Oh, okay. Then we can. Okay, if you're watching Netflix or you're watching movies, you can turn it to Chinese subtitles. That's another tip, Yeah.
Correct.
So that you can get your children to get used to actually
the
recognize
Chinese sounds.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So my experience with children is that they actually really give up in Chinese because they cannot read, okay, and they cannot recognize the words. So don't wait until that extent. You know, when they are young, expose them, talk to them in Chinese, let them see Chinese words and books and dramas. You know. That's how I grew up with that. Even radio, it was very useful.
Oh, you listen to I didn't listen to radio then. But you did listen to radio when you learned Chinese. Oh,
correct. And songs, Chinese songs.
Songs. Yes, but actually, like to be honest, right, my time as a student learning Chinese, right, was not very exciting or interesting. Because when I learned Chinese, right, it was a lot of in school we didn't have songs, we didn't have all this like more like entertaining part of.
Right. Now we have YouTube, you know.
Yeah, correct.
You know, there's a lot of channels on learning Chinese. You know, please go. Yeah, and there's so many methods for if you are a student and you want to do well, you know. Yes, there's a lot of venues that you can go to. Be creative, and YouTube is one of the best ways. You know, you can get even you just type PSLE Chinese, right? Also, there's a channel. Really.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? On YouTube. Oh, okay.
Yes. And then oral is very important. To me, oral is, if you can't do well in oral, it's even harder for you to do paper. So that's why I encourage.
Because actually, to be honest, like speaking and listening is supposed to be easier than like reading and writing. Because at least in reading and writing, it's like you have to remember all the strokes, right?
But that's why I say, best time go home, spend all the time talking to the parents
in Chinese, right?
Yes, in the daytime, you have friends, they don't want to speak, then you cannot force them, right?
Yeah,
but you yourself, your parents can help you, because I'm sure the parents know how to speak Chinese, and grandparents, they usually speak Chinese as well. So yeah, all the children or students, but what about those like your students which learning a third language, at home, do they have support? Or how would you
so third language is a bit difficult because Chinese as a second language, right? The exposure is already quite little.
Yes.
Like in school, at all the subjects you learn in English, right? Only Chinese is like one individual subject on its own. And then like sometimes at home they also don't speak Chinese. And then then if you talk about a like third language, right? Then it will be probably even worse because nobody literally speaks. I mean, nobody in Singapore would. At least not normally you wouldn't like see anyone like any Singapore citizen or any Singaporean they will speak Japanese or German or French fluently. It's definitely not that case in Singapore.
That's actually online course is very important.
Yes.
You listen again and again.
Yes. So that's why online exposure is like the sort of the way that you have to,
right?
That's the only way, especially in the Asian country like Singapore, right? You want to learn a foreign language, right? You need an online exposure. Like maybe you can listen to songs like Chinese songs in the same. You have like songs in French or like German as well. Like for example, for those of you like Celine Dion, like some. For those of you who like Celine Dion, she's actually she's Canadian French. So she started her music career as a French singer. But then of course she progressed on and then she sang English songs lah. But that's how she increased her market value, because if she just sing French, if she only sang French songs, then those who don't understand French probably won't listen to her. But then she went to learn. Actually, French is her mother tongue. French was her mother tongue. And she started French first.
You can go to YouTube, online, go and listen, and then get better, exposure to the language.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I think we have the points already about why it's so beneficial, and also I've given tips on language you can use for whether it's third language or whether it's and most important we learn whether how good you can learn from a third language, what are the benefits, which really helps the children, really to not to waste their time on handphone, okay? Yeah. So that's about my side, okay? If we do our children, to really like the first language, second language, I'm sure the third language will help the child in many ways, right? So this is what I've learned from my wife, and I hope that my time can go back when I encourage my children to go and learn third language again, okay? But my daughter gave up after a year, and my son didn't even have the chance, okay? So for those students and parents who want to learn other methods which I said to improve your children's grades, whether it's Chinese, math, science, or languages, right? Yeah, I have a free ebook, okay, and also a free webinar to help your children to know how to study better, okay? Because I feel that in order for them to have good grades, a lot of children in Singapore don't know how to study, okay? So, and then don't know how to optimize what happened every day, okay? They go back and don't know what to do, okay? So I will touch on things like maps, like I talk about flashcard, but a lot of children don't know how to use it, even like multiplication.
That's actually very useful. Actually, mind maps I think very useful because students in school they are not taught how to create mind maps or use mind maps effectively. They don't, right? Yeah. Actually, it's actually it's very good to use mind maps, especially you can see the big picture, you link things and you see things in big picture. That's why then you won't be so obsessed with the small details, you want to just memorize everything. It's much easier, but you got a more organized way of learning things.
This mind map is everyone is just a word, just learn the word, okay? And this is for science, but I want to show you something interesting. Like, what are the things that you can learn? Like I think what I say is that it makes learning easier. Also, you can remember better because of the colors you use, okay? And also learn about logical thinking and simplification. Sometimes children don't like to read a lot of information. Like
a material, just words and sentences all in one whole block of text, right?
This was
in Chinese.
So it's like stories, from here.
Is this a Chinese mind map, for learning Chinese?
I mean, it's not really a mind map, but it's like a story where you can build and we can learn the vocabulary all using the something similar to MyMaths, but we can use MyMaths in many ways. I just want to illustrate not only for science, because I use MyMaths to teach my students in science a lot, because science you need a lot of things, a lot of facts, right? Yes. And the children cannot remember, okay? They go to exam, cannot remember and blank, right? So we have to start with the bad facts. Then after that, actually I went through some other educators also on MyMaths, and she teaches Chinese. So she also showed me actually stories are also very good, to help the children to learn language better, right? Stories that captivate them, like this, this is Mei Ho Wang, who don't like Sun Wukong? We all like, right? Yeah, but if we don't expose our children to stories, then they will never learn how interesting stories are, then they will never learn about the language. So important thing is here we use stories to get them interested, and then then they will like Chinese already, okay?
Yep.
Okay, can. So this is my webinar. Okay, so take a snapshot, later I'll put in the comments. Okay, this special webinar for those who come. Okay, we'll have much more bonuses. Okay, and this is my secret 3M system to ace exams, where I help two achievers myself, and also I'm also mentoring many students how to achieve better in their studies, right? So this is
and just one question, how long is the webinar going to be? Like half an hour? 1 hour?
1 hour.
1 hour. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1 hour. Okay, for everybody, adults, parents, children, okay. So this I help children from failing to passing and being more confident is important. That's why I have passion in helping more children and parents as well. Because when children don't do well, parents also they right.
Very stressed, yeah. All right. Right, yeah, especially trying to find like help for for their children.
Yeah, I'm sure that why there's some students that they work very hard but they couldn't get the grades, right? Correct. So I will help the students and the parents to reach their goals that they want. Right. So this is we are so happy that today Viva is going to give us a free course so that ourselves of our children to actually understand a little bit more about German first, right? Then. So can you please take down this course? Very important, it's really thank you for giving us this link. Okay, then we can start our journey. Like, is it? Wow. Then next time we can go Germany.
And maybe impress the German, like the Germans there with your your German language skills,
Yeah, correct. So because I've been to Germany before, and it's true that the menus are all in German. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see. Because actually I don't think they speak English very much. I don't think
some restaurants they will put the translation.
The English translation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some they have, some they don't have. Yeah. Those small ones.
All right.
Yeah. So So okay, please go and sign up for the free course. Okay, and learn. After that, we have a very special price. For another German course. Okay, you can take the snapshot now. You can also, during holidays, let your children go for the free course first, and then if they really want to learn more, I'm sure it's much more, it's cheaper than going to like institution.
The language
to learn,
school, right? Yes,
correct. And then you can keep your children, you see, you know how to learn this, we can bring you to Germany. Yeah, that's how
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and then my course is like, once you're enrolled, like, it's yours for life. Okay, you can revisit every time. Yeah, it's not like you after one lesson, like if you go to school, like after one lesson you forget, then that's it, no more.
You forget it already, right? Okay,
you forgot, and then if you want to relearn, then you got to enroll again and like pay again.
All right. So remember, this is the free course, and this is our paid course if you're interested. Okay, and then during your school holidays, if you feel that March holiday is coming around already, right? Next week. So we also can get the youngsters who will be interested in learning. Maybe they're really interested, you never know, right? Okay. And so this is my link for webinar, which is coming this Sunday. Okay. And if you have any questions, you put in the comments and we'll do our best to reply. I'll put all the links in the comments. Okay. Thank you, YY, for sharing today.
Okay, no problem. Happy to be here. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.